And see, I'm sitting here over here going, oh shit. I knew this was coming. Okay. And I just kind of get up. Oh. Not before being a gentleman. And writing down my YouTube channel so the guy can check it out and maybe realize, in whatever size brain is left there, the kind of good guy that just walked out of there with his group because they were basically pushed out by the old timers that didn't seem to like the young and the youthful and the vibrant because they were worried about dying. And they were watching Behold a Pale Horse, and a child, a child, made noise. Actually, here's about a minute's worth of Tim talking about it.
Alright, so we were at this preppers meeting. It was the first preppers meeting I'd ever been to. You don't want to go to a preppers meeting because you're like, hey, there's probably a bunch of weirdos there. Well, it turns out we went, and you know what? There were a bunch of weirdos, and you know what? They were pretty old. And yeah, we went as a family. They started talking about family and community and all that, but we weren't sure. So we eventually started watching this strange video, and my 2-year-old, he just wouldn't be quiet. So, right, Jack? Yeah, he's not going to answer.
Now he's quiet.
But they started getting mad. And I mean, I swear they were going to come at us with pitchforks at any point in time. So I just stormed out of there. You know, I was angry, and yeah, I'm glad to be out of there and in the safe supermarket now.
You're safe at Safeway now.
That's right.
They have free vaccines tonight.
All right.
So I think what we're trying to express here is that part of preparedness is dealing with families and children. And that other group, you know, that military group that I thought, well, I can't really confide with them about things. I'm really looking forward to meeting the conspiracy group. Not anymore. Because the other group is actually doing things. So what if they're in uniform? The other group was kid-friendly. And you're just going to have to accept the fact, some of you, that kids live in this world. And you're going to have to make do with the children of this world, because you are not just fighting for yourself. You should be fighting for the children of tomorrow, the world they're going to live in. You know, what kind of world are they going to be living in? They're going to be living in, you know what kind of world they're going to be living in. I don't have to go there. This isn't just about you. There are children that I believe are meant to be on this earth right now. That everything happens for a reason. That's right. That there could actually be another billion of us on the planet if we were living differently and the corporations weren't having their monopoly on all the world's resources, which is why after the solar flare, have no fear, it will all work itself out. I can almost guarantee it. There's still going to be a lot of dark manipulation taking place, though, after the solar flare. Manipulation of the human species. Without delving into all that, and by the way, the solar flare and things like that, this is why we prepare. Just like that videotape, this is why we fight, this is why we prepare. For the day when even the governments and the corporations lose power over their monopoly of the resources, of the earth, of these countries. It's like a massive reset. It's going to be a beautiful time. It's going to be a romantic time. It's going to be a very challenging time. It's going to be a cannibalistic time. But we do create our own reality. And this earth is big enough that we're going to be experiencing different realities on this earth. Which is why it's important to create that intentional community. Which is why we talk about this concept, although we didn't get real deep into it, into do's and don'ts in setting up your own preparedness group. And we're obviously talking about a do. A do here is where you set up a group and you make it about preparedness. You don't fuck around. You don't treat people like they're 3 years old and tell them how bad things are and just scare them, because some people have already figured out how bad things are and they're ready to get something done and they want to know if you're with them. And they don't want to hear any of this bullshit about how scared they should be, because they've already gone through their own experience in looking at how deep the rabbit hole goes. They don't know how much I know or how much they know. They're fully aware of what's going on. They've been looking at things for years and years. We don't need no stinking videotapes, I say. We don't need no stinking Beheld a Pale Horse. to tell us about Obama being a socialist. Our understanding of the New World Order is so far beyond Obama's a socialist. Let's just bring out the right to save us. Let's just bring out the Bible to save us. I'm not doing anything to put down the Bible either. I'm just saying we're beyond their paradigms. We're also thinking in our own minds about the type of preparedness group we would like to create in our own community. And we know that there's more risk involved in that. There's more work involved in that to find others of like minds, but how like of a mind do we need to find? Do you need to find someone else that's necessarily aware of all these horrible things going on and threats to our personal safety and security? Or is a like mind someone that's aware of the beauty of self-sufficiency, of being able to work as a community with others, even if they have different political beliefs and ideologies, including religious and spiritual? Heaven forbid we actually evolve to a point where like minds, the definition of like minds, becomes more advanced in its holistic definition. I like this idea. And I think this is the idea that is bulletproof, that no standing army can stop, when people can actually create community even if they're different. Different color skin, different language, different religion, different ways of looking at the world, different fears of what's coming around the corner. From some that believe that the Islams are going to march on the country and Sharia law, there's going to be a lot of bondage and things like that going on. Hey, they ought to be looking at how we treat each other right now before looking at what they're going to do to us. Then you've got people that are genuinely concerned about world government and microchips and Monsanto and flying mosquitoes. And the flying mosquitoes. Speaking of Mountain Man earlier, have you heard about the mosquitoes? Yes, I've heard about the mosquitoes with the vaccines. Oh, no, not those. The mosquitoes that are like robots that have like these syringes. Yeah, buddy, the syringes are for the vaccines. I just said that. Back to talking down again. This is the same guy that went, "Do you mind?" And he's just a kid. Focus on reality. And the reality is this: the world is made up of kids. There are many people that resent children on this planet that are born that don't understand or subscribe to a belief system or an understanding or a spiritual concept of sorts, that all children are meant to be here on this earth, and they just have not embraced that. They do not understand that. They are not open to the possibility that whatever may be coming down the line might be here for us all to learn and grow and experience. All 7 or maybe 8 billion of us, if we make it to that point. Everything is fine. Everything will work itself out. There's no need to be resentful of the younger generation or feel that you're distracted by the very sound of their voice or acoustics. The other group was organized in the sense that families came there. Younger people came there, younger and older, as well as I counted about 6, 7, or 8 children that were in a whole other separate space where the parents took turn watching them. Now, there was enough space at this particular meetup, I'm sure, where a certain area could have been set up for someone to watch the kids. So, as we complete this video here, I meant to do all this in 15 minutes, but I thought that I would just keep going to kind of expound upon my thoughts. Like minds, be willing to redefine that in order for you to achieve your own personal survival goals. You may need to work with other people that are in different aspects of the paradigm in order to get things done. Think about this very seriously. Think outside of the box of just associating yourself with people that are aware of the New World Order and all these threats, because some of those people don't do shit but post on Facebook about how fucking scared little children they feel and how they don't have the power and they don't have the money to get prepared because everybody's took them over and everybody's watching them. And heaven forbid if they got involved in doing some things and preparing and getting food, they might be marked as a terrorist. I'm not trying to be mean here, folks. I have to say it as I see it. It's sad to watch people fall into that abyss. Beware of staring into the abyss, lest you become it or fall into it. Plop, plop, plop. Help! Get me out! You're gonna crawl yourself. You have to crawl yourself out of that hole. And it's a pit of fear, folks. You've got to go beyond fear. Hey, you know what? On a side note, there's a whole lot of shit going on in the news right now with China and Japan facing off. And Israel's just going to hit Iran any day. You know, I've been hearing that for 4 years, and it may be a reality. But, I mean, you have to admit we've been under the gun of any day now. Oh, it's us that keep stopping it. Oh, okay, just keep patting yourself on the back. Slaveplanet.com. Oh, you've stopped the war in Iran. Sure you have. There's a larger plan unfolding. The people aren't going to stop the war with Iran if it's meant to happen, or if it's been predestined to happen, or if this is in the greater planning. I mean, they have plans to invade America using Chinese peacekeeping troops. The law of attraction has got nothing to do with whether or not that becomes a reality. They've set that forth into our reality, the controllers of this earth. And there's certain things they're just going to do and play out. The whole thing about law of attraction and what you need to focus down on your own life, your own future, your own health. The world you can affect out here that you can touch. And I'm not saying we can't change the world, that we can't stop wars. I think we can, to a certain degree, expose certain people and things. But to a point, within this control paradigm matrix, or the world that we're living in, there's a point to how much you can control. Because you can't affect other people's free will. You can only affect your own life to a degree and things like that.